Hey everyone, Rick with Rick's 1/35 scale models with a quick tutorial. Today what I'm going to be doing is taking these Takom 1/35 scale Leopard 1 tracks and I'm going to be detailing them. Now there's a couple ways you can go about this. You can assemble them, which I've done here, and then do this, or you can leave them on the sprue sheet, paint them, get them ready to go, and then do your touch-ups after that. I really don't like doing that personally. I like doing this. It's a kind of a preference thing. Either way, you'll get the same results. What I'm initially going to be doing is taking this Tamiya product, which is a surface primer in Oxide red, and I'm going to be priming the whole track. That'll be my base rust. Then I'm going to be taking these other three Tamiya paints, smoke, metallic gray, and flat black, to do the rubber part of the track on the surface, and then the part on the inside where the bogey wheel rubs and it's a lot shinier. I'm also going to be taking some different chalk products. I've got these Tamiya Weathering Master chalks, and then I'm going to be taking some other products to create the dusty, rusty look that it has. The other thing I'm going to be doing is taking every so many of these links. For me, I'm going to be doing every 7. The reason for that is that when the Germans get these tracks, they get them in the links of 7 compartments or pieces. They then assemble the whole track. And when I've looked at pictures, about every 7 or so of these, there's a blue painted line or a red line somewhere in this area. So I'm going to be simulating that effect also. What I'm looking for here is a track that looks realistic. It's been on the road, it's been being used. You're going to have some of the wear and tear here, which is easy to simulate. You can either sand it, you can take an X-Acto knife and etch it, or you can take a flat black and something as simple as a Q-tip, and by going about the painting, it'll give you the same effect. So anyway, let's get started. So initially I'm going to be using Tamiya Oxide Red, as I had said. I'm going to be painting the entire, both sets, front and back of the tracks with this, making sure I get it in all the grooves. From there, I'm going to be taking a Tamiya Dark Green number 2 acrylic, and I'm basically touching up different places to create a faded paint look. When they paint these vehicles, everything gets painted, so then after wear and tear, that starts wearing off. So by doing this, what I'm doing is simulating that look. Now this is one of those things you can do to however much level you want the paint still on it. I'm doing light. After that, I'm going to take chalk, and then I'm going to pretty liberally get it on inside all the grooves and everything else. And I'm going to wipe off most of the surface area. This gets it down inside everything and creates a nice covering. I'll also be using different shades of chalk here to create a blended look. One thing, like I said, is you're going to use as much as you like, whatever your preference is, but the whole idea is to create that look that you're looking for. I really like using the chalks because you can blend it, you can do a lot of effects. It really does add a lot to the model. From there, I'm going to take a enamel wash. Here I'm just basically highlighting different areas. If you're thinking about the tracks driving down the road, it's going to pick up debris, dust, oil, everything else, plus there are going to be different things that have dripped on it. So this, I'm just creating that look here by hitting different areas. Not a total wash, just highlights here and there. So now I'm taking the flat black Tamiya acrylic, and I'm using a Q-tip, lightly getting paint on it, and I'm touching the tracks. The idea here is to not cover the entire pad, but just the main areas of it, and that creates kind of the wear and tear look. It's one of those things you want to play around with. Start with the lightest amount of paint you can and just lightly dab it, and after a couple minutes of doing this, you're definitely going to figure out exactly what you're looking for the model you're building. This is one of the easiest techniques. It's really straightforward. It also creates a really nice effect for this rubber pad that you're doing, because when you look at the real ones, they're pretty torn up, generally speaking, especially if they've been in any of the desert environments or real rocky areas. The next stage is going to be taking a dark gray chalk and using this to blend the edges of the rubber pad to match the rest of the track to dull it down and create more of that weathered, torn up look. This is another one of those, you kind of do to the liking you're looking for. I use a pretty heavy coat on this to really create the look. The next stage is going to be creating the shiny area that the tire actually rolls on the track. I'm using the metallic gray Tamiya acrylic and gently spraying a really light coat kind of back and forth to create the buildup right where the rubber tire rubs. The idea here is you're not doing a liberal coating covering the whole track, just that area. From there, I'm going to use the acrylic smoke Tamiya product and just cover the entire track with this. This does two purposes. I like how it kind of blends everything together. It also kind of creates your overall look. And then after that, I'm going to seal everything once it's dried with a Tamiya Flat Clear. Okay, so let's take a look at the completed product. Here's the tracks installed. You will have to do, if you use these Takom tracks on a Meng model, you're going to have to modify the sprocket. It's a little snug in there, so you just have to kind of chip away a little on the inside to make them fit, because the Takom tracks are a little wider, but it works out real nice. You can get an idea here. You can see how it looks inside, the shiny part that the bogey wheel runs on, and then the rust, the paint that's been faded from overall use, along with the markings every so often on the pins on the end. Here you can see the rubber pads and then the rust and dirt and dust and all that in between them, along with, like I said, you can see the areas that have the green tint from the paint that's partially worn off. Overall, it works out real nice. It's a nice look. Depending on, like I said, if you want to do this a little less rusty, you can paint it more of the green or a black, depending on what you prefer, and just lightly rust depending on if you're making it look brand new or heavily used, muddy or whatever. Comes out real nice either way. The model itself has not been weathered, so it really doesn't come up to the expectations of the tracks, but that'll be down the road project. Weathering it, creating more of a used look, well maintained but still used. That's one of the videos coming out in the future. But here we go. Once again, Takom Leopard 1 tracks on a Meng Gepard. It does definitely work out. I haven't added the tow cables on the Gepard. That'll be a part of the weathering process. Yes, they are missing. Anyway, that's my project. Comments or questions, please feel free to ask me. Get me on Facebook. Email me. Type a question in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer anything about the project or any other questions. Take care, everybody. Please like and subscribe. Hit the bell. See you guys in the next one. More videos coming soon. Take care, everybody, and bye-bye.